Star Wars Geek Girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes cry.
Hello and welcome to Star Wars Geek Girl. I'm Zoe, and as usual, I'm here with Lizzy,
Hello.
and we are going to be talking about the Bad Batch.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about first two episodes, Chapter 17, The Apostate, and Chapter 18, The Mines of Mandalore. Spoiler-free thoughts, very good.
Uh-huh.
I liked them. They were fun. Grogu shenanigans,
hmm
always the best.
I like catch up like episodes because I like that trying to do spoiler free where like Mando is able to, especially because it's the first episode of the first season, but he gets to go back and meet some old friends just to you know get something, but also it's nice to just catch up and see these characters again that we know and love.
Yeah, first episode was like kind of chill almost. Like it was just like, oh, like nice, like settle into the new season, which I liked.
hmm
While still obviously having some of that, good old Mandalorian action.
Yes.
Um, and then chapter 18 ramped things up a little bit, but I enjoyed it very much.
hmm Yes.
Yes.
The second episode, I like. Ah, I can't. No, I need spoilers.
All right, we'll do spoilers now. Spoiler time. It's hard, yeah. So chapter 17, the apostate. So we open up with a like ceremony thing.
hmm Which
The
I
children of
thought
the
was in the
watch.
past. Did you think was
I
in the
thought so
past?
too. Okay, I like it. I thought it was like a flashback because I'm like, man, like that's a lot of Children of the Watch. Like I was like,
hmm
sure, it's a flashback. And then there's like that kid that was doing a little like baptism for, like giving his helmet and stuff. And I was like, is that supposed to be Din? I was like, that does not look like
Yeah, I was good.
Din.
I
That
was
looks
like,
like
it's
I was like, is that supposed to be? Because like it doesn't look like him, but like maybe. I don't know, maybe they're just messed up. I was like,
well, I,
I was like, who is this
well,
child? Like, is it little Kylo Ren? Like,
I thought it was funny because in my head, I was like you, I was like, oh, is that Pedro? No, whose goddamn white baby is that? Whose is that?
I was
It's
like, I
not
was like,
Pedro.
I was like, okay, like either this is like not because I was pretty sure it was in the past. So I'm like, okay, either this is not Din and this is like some random kid, like maybe we'll get to meet this character later as an adult, or it's Din and they just really fumbled the bag on the casting.
Yeah. Because
Um,
I don't know, they did great with like the casting of like Baby Andor.
Well,
Like,
even
so,
like we already saw baby Mando in season
yeah,
one.
that's true. Yeah.
So I was like, why wouldn't they use the same kid or like a kid that looks like at least looks like that kid?
hmm
Um, I was like, yeah, and then like so they're giving him his helmet with the like Hasbro visor. The child-friendly Hasbro visor is now
Yeah.
canon. Um, and it was a nice helmet, a good paint job. We also got to see the armor make it, which was pretty cool
I
in the
didn't, not that
beginning.
I didn't like it, but I was like, man, that's so boring. Because I didn't, not that I didn't, like, I was like, oh, it's probably, like, she, like, actually showed it. And I was like, oh, it's for a baby. So maybe, like, the baby will, like, decorate it over time. I hope. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, I'm sure they're. I mean, or it's children in the watch. I don't know. I assume they're not like, all right, this is it. This is what you wear. You cannot touch it. Cannot change it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, maybe I wouldn't actually put it past the children of the watch now that I
Yeah. I
say
was
it.
gonna say, like,
But
they'd probably be like,
uh,
no, like, this is,
this was
I don't know. This
chosen
is,
for you. I had a vision of
yeah.
your essence color, and it's blue.
Yeah,
um, I
I,
assume they
when,
have to go through a couple helmets as
yeah,
they
I mean, it is a
age, right?
tiny helmet. So
It's pretty
I think it would have been funny if they
small.
gave him a big helmet, so they didn't have to like
He's like
waste
a
a bunch
bobblehead.
of, yeah, so that they didn't have to waste so much material. But I don't know.
Yeah. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure they repurposed it, you're right. But yeah, so like giving him his little he's like standing in the water on the little like kind of beach. And then,
Mhm.
it's like, oh man, and then like a giant monster comes out because
It looked like a giant
Mandalorian cannot
snapping turtle.
The Mandalorian cannot premiere without a giant monster popping out of either water or the ground.
Yeah.
Every
Uh,
season, you need the
I
monster.
okay. I was like, all right, so they're gonna like escape. That seems like the most logical thing to do with, there being only like 10 to 15 of you. You guys want to like save your race, right? And like not die to a giant snapping turtle? Because they told the kids to run, and then they kept trying to fight this thing, and I was like, guys, you are losing so hard. Please, like you're getting eaten left and right. Like you really want to die like this to a freaking giant snapping turtle? That's lame. And then they kept fighting it, and
Yeah, no, they were fighting it, and they were not doing very well. And it's like, oh man. And then Din Djarin comes down from the sky in his
with his
N1. And
sports
you're like,
car.
I know, and you're like, oh, this is not the past. Okay.
No.
Um uh
Yeah.
and then he saves the day with
Yes.
his ship. Um and then he goes up to the armor and he's like, hey yo, I'm going to the mines of Mandalore and taking a bath. And she's like, okay, you can't, it's cursed. And you're an apostate, you're banished. And he's like, but I'm gonna take a bath, so
Yeah. I'm gonna cleanse myself.
which
Okay,
was like a good
but
little like I guess refresher for people forgot or missed Book of Boba Fett. Figure out what he's doing. Although I did think it was funny, right? They show scenes from the Book of Boba Fett to show the like you gotta take a bath part, but
yeah,
they don't show scenes from the Book of Boba Fett about getting Grogu back,
I
which
don't know.
I like. Yeah, and we can, the conversation has been had to death about was it a good idea to reunite the Book of Boba Fett. I'm not really interested in that conversation. It happened. It's over. Boo. Um,
Mhm.
but like, why would you show parts of what happened in the Book of Boba Fett and not like that part? Because I didn't realize my mom did not watch the Book of Boba Fett.
Oh,
So when we watched, so my dad and I watched in the morning, and then in the evening, my mom comes home from work, and we watch it again with her, and she's like, "Wait, I thought Luke was with Grogu." We're like, we're like, "Oh," and
oh,
like that
you are
wasn't even
very
in the
far
like
behind.
little, that wasn't even the little like recap thing.
Hmm.
Interesting choice on that end. Like at
Yeah,
least show it in the like. It's not even like they're like, well, it didn't happen in the Mandalorian, so we're not going to recap it. Like you showed stuff from the Book of Boba Fett, so show that too. It's funny. Um,
yeah.
Interesting
I,
choice.
yeah. I just think like I don't like the Children of the Watch. I have to say, like I said it on previous podcasts and like the Rogue Rebels podcast, but I don't like them. I don't like the fact
I'm not a
that
fan either.
no, it's just like, especially the part where they're like, he's like literally, pretty much in a nutshell, he's like, well, the Bible says redemption is a thing. And they're like, what? Maybe. Fine. I guess you read
It's
it.
like no, because it was like okay, like if you want to be redeemed, you have to, bathe in the mines of Mandalore, which like when you're living on Mandalore, again, kind of weird, but like sure, take a little trip downtown, grab some boba while you're at it. But I
Yeah.
did honestly Boba Fett reference totally flew over my head. I just always want boba. Anyway, um, but like, and now it's like, well, the mines were destroyed by this like genocidal attack, and she's like, oh well, guess you can't get redemption. Like what?
Yeah, I
Like you can't reevaluate a little bit, and it's like this whole thing where like I really I respect and I admire like taking children in and being like we're family, um and like that aspect, like blood is not family, like it's creed, and like I like that aspect of it, but like you're not really family if it's like, oh well, you broke our rule, so you're banished until you do
Yeah,
whatever.
like just
Like
super unforgiving.
right, like it's not
Because like, can you imagine if like Ezra, like they just dumped him after the first mistake he made?
right,
Like,
which would have been
end
like
of
episode
show.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, and
like,
that's the thing. Like there, I mean, there's definitely things, and I don't even mind the like not taking your helmet off rule. Like if that's your vibe, cool. But it's the whole
mhm,
like, well, you did it, so now like you're banished. Like you're not one of us anymore. It's like it's not. I feel like I don't want to say like completely unconditional because then you got that person like, oh, well, what if he murders someone? It's like okay, but like I feel like
yeah.
family generally should be pretty unconditional love. And unfortunately, not a lot of people get that, and I recognize that. But like, I don't like the idea of like, oh, well, they're family and they like accept you, but only if you follow the rules. Like, it's like then they don't accept you.
Yeah, it's not entirely family then, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not crazy about Children of the Wild. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're like pretty cool, like,
Hmm.
oh yeah, Mandalorians, but like they also suck.
Yeah,
Uh, but
but
yeah,
yeah,
so
so
I'm
now, mhm,
I'm interested to see where that story arc goes as far as like I really would like Din to kind of realize like, you can have a balance of like respecting your traditions and your heritage while also recognizing like what's not cool and what's harmful and like building your own identity, mixing what is right and what is heritage. And I hope we
mhm,
get to see him go through that arc.
yeah,
Because I don't think you
yeah,
have to be like, tradition, bye bye, like no more tradition. Tradition sucks. Like I think you could have. So
yeah,
I want to
especially
see that.
like Din isn't about to give up on this family that he has.
Right.
So he like I'm not entirely upset that he keeps trying
Hmm.
because this is his family technically that like brought
Yeah.
him in
Well, this
and
is
saved him.
this is what he knows.
Yeah.
This is what he knows, and it's like, I'm very curious to see this arc that he will go on. Um,
Hmm.
and like, and I think Bo-Katan, which we'll see more in episode 2, but also in this episode, is like a nice like counter because she's like screw tradition, like I'm done with tradition. Like it's all stupid. And I think we can maybe
Yeah.
they can kind of meet each other in the middle of like respecting certain traditions and valuing your beliefs and your culture while also, you know, so like for her meeting him there and Din meeting her at like, yeah, this is kind of messed up. Like the way that we treat each other, and how we allow, dead people's rules to get in the way of uniting.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, which I like seeing more of in the second episode, and I'm excited to talk about in the
Yes, I'm
second
very
episode.
excited. We have to talk about, so Din goes he's like tells Armor, he's like, all right, gonna go take a bath. See ya.
He's also like, I'm gonna bring you evidence. What? Like, was he gonna
He
take a
vlogs.
picture
I hope he
or?
vlogs it.
Yeah,
Or
like,
like Grogu sets up the little like hollow recorder.
mhm,
He's like, all right, uh, this is Dinjar, and he'll put like a little TikTok sound on it.
mhm.
Day
Yeah,
one of earning my redemption in the eyes of my cult.
yeah. Jeez.
Follow for more. Follow for part two.
Be sure to like and subscribe,
Yes.
depending on what platform you are on. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Share 3 times for
Yeah, for
good
good
luck.
luck to get accepted into your creed again.
Like and comment to claim good vibes.
Hmm.
Yeah. I uh yeah, I hope he does that. Um yeah, so then the next thing is they go in hyperspace and Purgle's.
There's part. Yeah, that was so cool,
I was so
dude.
excited.
I
And
like was.
Grogu's looking at him. Grogu's like, oh my god, animals.
I thought it would be so funny if like Ezra was just riding them, and he was like,
Ezra's
"Hey,"
just sitting there
and
like,
he just
okay, what's up?
waved. Yeah,
I think,
and it
yeah.
just kept going.
How
Yeah.
funny would that be if that just became like a new gag? Like we all know where Ezra is. He's just like around, like we'll just see him in different places. And Sabine and Ahsoka in their show are like, "Where's Ezra?" And Ezra's just like hanging
Hmm.
out. It's like, "Oh hey, look at that kid. That's funky looking."
Yeah,
I don't know.
I like
Purgle.
the nod to him, or just the Purgles. I like them a lot. They're
Purgle's
really cool.
a nice nod to Rebels. I think a nice reminder, like, okay, hi Alexa. No, I don't want to stop.
Alexa's like, I know where he is. You want to know where Ezra is?
Alexa knows everything.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's just a nice
You think if
reminder
a
that like
kid
we're
asked
getting.
Filoni where Ezra was, he would tell them?
Maybe, maybe. I don't know. It's a nice reminder of like, oh, we're getting the Ahsoka series, which is presumably where we find Ezra like this year. Like, oh my God, it's
Yeah.
happening. It's been so long, which is very
Hmm.
cool. Yeah, and then so then we fly to what's it called? What's the planet with Carl Weathers? Um,
I do not know. It's the
Navarro.
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers planet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's Navarro. I think it's Navarro. We go to Navarro, and Navarro is freaking awesome now. It is
Yeah,
so
I
pretty,
thought
so
it was
like,
so cool. It looked it looked like Batu in a way. Like it
hmm
felt like Batu. Like I was like, I
it's
want to walk
like,
around there.
yeah, no, it was like I was very like I want to go to there moment. It's
Yes.
beautiful. It's very like, yeah, I want to go there. It's like maybe like slightly gentrified Batu, like very clean, very like, compared to
Hmm.
Batu, but like it was so cool. Like little market. They have a big statue to IG-11 that's also part IG-11. Like these nice cobblestone streets. It's like,
I just thought that was a statue.
yeah, I thought it was just a statue too, and then they like took parts of it. I'm like, oh, I don't know how that happened. I think he exploded into the
Yeah, I
lava,
was like,
but
this is a little scary.
I know they must have grabbed it
Yeah.
fast. But yeah,
They're like
so
they
beautiful.
immediately came up with the idea of making a statue for him.
Yeah. A statue that is like partially his corpse in a way. I mean, it's a droid, so it's not quite that macabre, but
Yeah.
a little bit. Yeah, but he goes to
Hmm.
see Grief
Yes.
Karga, who is I love the fit. What does it the kids say? He is
Yes, it's a very
dripping,
slay fit.
drippy. Is he drippy? I don't know.
It
Um,
drips. Yeah, he got
Drips.
drip.
He got drip. I
He has
loved it. And
immense
then he
drip and
turns around and
pizzazz.
there's two little wheelie droids holding up his cape so it's not dragging on the ground. So
Yeah.
marvelous, so extra. I like, if I don't see, maybe not this celebration,
Mhm.
but next celebration, if someone, it doesn't even have to be a Grief Karga costume. If you do not have little droids like that rolling behind holding your cape, what are we even doing? Um, top tier, top tier.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so
Top tier
Mando
content.
goes to Grief Karga, and there's like a couple things happen in the borough, and I can't remember what order they happen in. But there are pirates for one. There's a bunch of pirates hanging out by the school. That I guess the school used to be
Well,
the
yeah.
bar that like Grief Karga would give jobs, which is like a weird,
Hmm.
weird transition, but sure. Um, and so the pirates are like, we want to drink in our bar, and they're like, you're trying to act respectable now, but like you used to pay us to kill people. It's like kind of a good point, but also like man's trying to fix his life,
Hmm.
you know? And
Yeah.
they have it,
Redemption.
Yeah. And so they have like, little threatening thing. And the one, like the lead pirate guy, tries to like shoot Grief Karga, but Grief shoots his hand. Super cool. Grief Karga, top tier, man. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other guys try to shoot Grief
Yes.
Karga, but Mando clears him. And he runs away. And they have to clean up the bodies in front of the school.
He clears like four of them, right?
Yeah, no, it was four. It was four
Yeah.
dudes. Yeah, and then they go up to Grief Karga's office, and Mando's like, "Hey, I'm going to the mines of Mandalore, so I need a droid to help guide me through, and the only droid I trust is IG-11." And the problem is IG-11 is
Mm-hmm.
a little dead. But he Mando convinces Grief to they take the parts of IG that are still IG and not just a statue, and they like fix him up a little bit, and they actually get him to turn on, but he goes into like killbot mode and tries to kill them, and they play a little baby toss.
Yeah, that was horrifying.
It was really funny. um,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, and so IG's like
Can you
crawling on the
can
ground.
you
It's so
can you hear
scary.
me good?
I can hear you. Hello? Did you say
Is
something?
it? I think I'm cutting out. Hold on, hold on, hold on.
Oh.
Hello, hello.
Hello?
Hi. Hello.
Hello? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, but like it's very lagged. Just mine on my end.
Oh,
Hold on. Um, Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay, cool. Because like every time I talked, like it would be like 5 seconds, and then I think you would hear it, and then and I was like, oh, I wonder. I don't know. I think it's good
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, they toss the baby, and IG is like, he's got like one arm and no legs. He's like crawling on the ground, being like,
That was horrifying. Really
"Yeah."
fun. Again, like really funny, but terrifying.
No, it was like that. It was like framed. It was like because we were, I don't think anyone was actually like scared, like he was actually gonna hurt them. But
Hmm.
it was like in a different context would have been absolutely terrifying.
Hmm.
Um, but they manage. I think like Din shoots him, and it doesn't stop him like at all. And then the protocol droid, like Grief Karga's like translator assistant droid, knocks a bust of Grief Karga. He had a bust of himself.
Hmm.
He's so extra. I'm like a little obsessed.
Yeah.
But he like knocks a bust of him over and like crushes
And then
IG-11.
and then Mando makes a dad joke.
Now that's using your head.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, very dad joke. But so they decide to go to the best droid repairs people in the galaxy, the Anzelans. And they go, and there's like a little hole, like a little mouse hole, basically, in the wall, and an Anzellan comes out, and they go in, and then they cut to somehow Grogu and Din are both in it, and I figured how Grogu's in it, but I'm like,
Yeah.
how did Din get in there? What, like, was there another entrance? Like, I don't. It's so small.
It was so cute.
I really want the footage of Din Djarin crawling through a little hole. And he's like sitting there, like all like hunched over because it's the only way he can fit.
Hmm.
So cute. And the Anzelans are working on ID-11. They're like, it's broken.
Yeah.
No friend.
Robot
No more
broken.
friend. The broken. The broken. I
Broken.
think is what they say. The broken. And
I
Grogu
like
tries.
Grief like what's he's like translating and
To be fair though, like they go, no can fix. The broken. And
Yeah.
Din goes, "What did they say?" Like, dude,
In
take a guess.
pumpkin.
Take a guess.
Yeah. I thought it
um,
was because he keeps doing it, and then Amanda's like, I got it. Yes, I
I
understand.
know. But like
Which
to be fair, like the first time Din was like, "What did they say?" When they said like the most obvious
I think it's
thing.
funny because it reminds me of like if I'm watching a movie like with some friends and there's like one Spanish word and they're like hola and I'm like guys that means hello just in case. um but I think is I love that. I just love the little I don't even think they're family like related, but I just love the little cluster of them.
I
Like it
know.
was so
There's like
cute.
three of them. It's so cute. My mom was like squealing the whole time we were watching it because her two favorite things in Star Wars are Grogu and Babu Frick.
Hmm.
So she was like ascended.
Yeah, and then Grogu trying to hug and grab Babu.
He's like, no, bad baby. He's a bad
Bad
baby.
baby. I like that they know that it's a
So
baby,
cute.
even though
I
it's
know
like
he's bigger than
huge
them.
compared to them.
I know it's so cute. And Din's like, oh no, 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 no. He's like, no, no, Grogu, not a
Not
toy.
pet.
He's like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he's young. Bad baby,
It's so
bad
cute.
baby.
Yes.
That's what I call Freddy now.
Bad baby.
Bad baby.
Yeah, so they yeah, he's just saying how he can't fix it, but if he gets like an old computer chip specifically for that droid, then they can. Um, so Din then like he has like so many side quests like open. Like it's not like he has it and it's like okay later. It's like he's going, kind of not going, gonna do it
Yeah,
again. Like it's a little
yeah.
funny.
But basically, what the Inzel's tell him is that the only way they could fix IG-11 is if they get this like certain memory chip
Hmm.
that goes into these droids, and the droids are old, so they don't make these kinds of chips anymore. But if you can find one, then they can fix him.
Yes.
But if he can't find one, they can't fix him. So Din sets out. He's like, I know who can find it. And so he sets out, and he takes a pit stop. This is what I don't understand. So he goes to Bo-Katan's little castle, which I forget which planet slash moon it's on. I forget the name of it. But it's like presumably based on what we also later happens in the second episode, presumably close to Mandalore. So
Hmm.
he goes here to this place that's like basically orbiting Mandalore, and then goes to Tatooine, and then goes back to Mandalore. uh,
Yeah.
I'm a little confused on that. I mean, I'm not like saying it's just like why? Why'd you do it? Do you not know
Yeah.
how to plan a road trip, sir?
Yeah, I just like that he was trying to teach Grogu how to like,
Yes, he
you
was.
know,
It was very
geography
cute.
and just like
Oh,
the planets.
also he had a when he left Navarro, he had a space battle with the pirates. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
He
he
won.
did, which is kind of scary for, that planet, for grief. Like
Right.
hopefully they
No,
don't
that
go
was a
back.
big pirate ship. Oh, and also Grief offered him. He offered like, then you can come settle down and be a ranger because Ranger Dune left for reasons we don't know.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
yeah, crazy how that happened. Yeah, Ranger Dune left to join the New Republic, so I don't know. I
I
don't
thought
know.
that was hilarious. I wasn't sure like how they were gonna address it, and then it was right there, and it was like, yeah, she joined special forces.
Ever since Ranger Dune left to join the New Republic, so we won't see her this season, or maybe
Yeah,
ever.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that's
kind of funny.
yeah, crazy. Can't imagine why that was.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, and also the main pirate, the leader pirate guy, like not the leader
seaweed.
that like didn't like had a little fight with earlier, like the leader looked like Swamp Thing.
Yeah, it
Uh,
looked like seaweed,
Gorian was a Gorian Shard, I think.
like
Um,
charred, like Wait.
Yeah, he looked like something.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it when Star Wars is like really weird random alien designs. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's very
Especially
fun.
because
And
we
he was
didn't get much
green.
aliens in like Andor.
No, he didn't. And also like a lot of aliens I feel like we've gotten since the sequel to in live action animations in live action have all been like beige. Like they're all like have like human skin tones, like even some of the Twi'lek
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. And so
Not very colorful.
it's like a green alien. Finally.
Like a vibrantly green too. It
Very
wasn't
vibrant
like
green.
it's like I
He
think
wasn't like olive green. Like he was green.
yeah, which I don't know, maybe that's like how a species works. Like, like maybe like they when they get sick it's like a sickly green or like
Maybe.
when they die it's just like brown.
He looked like something. That's
Yes.
it was fun. But yeah, so he had like little dog fight with them and then just leave. So good luck, Grief Karga, I guess.
Yeah.
Have fun with that one. And then he goes to see Bo-Katan, who's laying dramatically on her throne.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I want to be left alone.
Yeah.
Um, and he's like, I'm going to the mines of Mandalore, even though they're cursed. And she's like, they're not cursed. It's just probably radioactive.
Yeah.
And but she's like you like there's nothing magic. Like you don't need to like do some redemption. And it's like not like that's not getting through to him at all. He's like, but I need to go to get redemption. She's like, okay,
Yeah.
here's where they are, which is nice of her at least. She's like humoring him a
Yeah,
little
pretty
bit,
much.
which is a kind of nice contrast. Like we can tell she's grown a bit of respect to him versus like when they first met and she realized he's a child of the watch and she's like, oh, you're part of that stupid cult, huh? This is the way. And she's like
Yeah.
at least slightly like humoring him a little bit, which is nice. Also, we found out that all of her Mandalorian followers abandoned her because she didn't have the dark saber.
Which was really mean.
I know.
It's like
Well, and it's
those were
also
her
it
buddies.
shows how why she would be so. She was already a little jaded about some of the old Mandalorian customs and stuff. Like clearly did not have a high opinion of the Children of the Watch when we first saw her in the Mandalorian. Um, but like even like Rebels a little bit, she was a bit more like about Mandalorian culture and stuff. And at this point, she's like, I don't care about any of it. Like it's all stupid.
Yeah.
Like if our people don't want to be reunited, if they just want to go around and be bounty hunters and don't want to try and get our home back, then screw them. Which I can't blame her for too much.
Yeah. I mean, she's tried like multiple times to help this community and like this race come back together, but they just keep fighting each other or like
Right.
not wanting to or they're scared to do it.
Yeah,
Or
I
they're
think it's
creating cults.
yeah, and it's so interesting, to think of her as a character who was introduced. I don't even know how many years ago now, back in the Clone Wars, and she has really like never been like a lead character in anything. I wouldn't even say there's a single episode of the Clone Wars or Rebels where it's like she is the lead character of that episode. Even like it's usually like she's supporting cast to like Sabine or Obi-Wan or Ahsoka.
Mhm.
And so the fact that she's had this like very clear, traceable character arc throughout all this time across so many different shows, across two different mediums now, is so interesting about for a character that has yet to lead. I would say she leads a little bit in the second episode. But like to lead her own like series or anything, I think is super cool. And I
Yeah,
really
I
like that like you can point to a trait or a belief she has at any given point in time and find the justification for it. I think
mhm.
that's like super cool because that's something like not even all like main characters get. Not necessarily in Star Wars, but just generally. And so having this like basically side character have that is like super cool and shows the depth of Star Wars and the power it has branching across all these different mediums and shows and stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine like how frustrated she must feel though. Like, and I
No,
told
she's
my
given
dad,
everything.
yeah, like
She's
I was
given
like, she's
everything.
getting like diffed like constantly, like no GG for her. Like there's nothing.
I know. And it's
And
and we when we see like in the season 2 finale, Din wins the dark saber, which to maybe not necessarily to Bo internally, but at least to her people and her trying to appeal to them. Like maybe like a lot of people think like maybe the reason she failed as a leader, not I don't say failed as a leader, I feel like it puts it on her. But you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like in their eyes, failed as a leader is because she didn't win it. She took it from Sabine. And so, for Din to win it, and then he doesn't even want it, but he keeps it. She's just like, and then everyone's like, well, screw you. It's
Yeah, I
like,
mean, even because she specifically told him not to as well.
yeah, it's so, yeah, it's so interesting to see. I'm very excited for her character arc. Um, I think she's so interesting, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where she goes.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I really like her laying dramatically on the throne, like draped across it. She's like, "Leave me alone.
Yeah.
I don't want guests." Like, are you sure?
Yeah.
I love her. Also, uh, A plus improvement on the wig. I know some people act like her wig in season two was like the worst thing ever. I thought it was fine.
I I
But
mean,
I
I
feel like
actually thought it was better in the season two.
really, I like
I
this
don't
one
know.
more. I like the
I
length of this. I feel like it matches her Clone Wars and Rebels looks more.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's more so how natural it looks. I like in the second
I feel
season.
like it looks so much more natural here, though. That's so
Yeah, I mean,
interesting.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I also don't wear wigs, so like I
Maybe.
don't. I'm just like, oh, that looks
I
nice.
don't know. I mean,
And then
I
this
will
one,
say
I was like,
I like the first one. I just like this one more. But I know it's like some people are like, oh, like what a travesty that way. I'm like, it's fine.
yeah. I'm
I
not
don't
like, oh, awful. Never gonna watch again. Like,
right. No, people were
it's
so
hair.
upset about it. And I was like, it looks good. It looks good. I just like this more. But I
Did
think
I?
this is great.
I told you about how that one guy was trying to like same guy, but he tried. There's this class, not really classmate. I work there, but like he's a student. Um, and like I was talking to the chef about Star Wars, and he was trying to kick me out of my own conversation. That was a whole thing. But again, this guy, like, he just won't leave me alone, like, about Star Wars specifically. And that's when I made that Twitter post that I added you and my dad, because he just like we were in the fridge, and I was just like helping him put stuff together, and he started talking about Mando, and then he was like, "Yeah, well, like Grogu's like 100 years old," and I was like, "Oh no, he's 50," and I wasn't like mean about it or anything. I was
Hmm.
like, "No, he's 50, plus like however many years," because we didn't know at the time, like freaking a week ago, how many years he had been with Luke, and I was like, it's probably like 2 or 3 years he was with Luke. I don't know, so like 52, 53, or maybe. And he was like, no, I know he's like above 80 years old. And I was like, but like, where'd you hear that? And he was like, just online. And I was like, but in the first episode, they say that he's 50 years old. So like, 30 years has not gone by. And he just kept arguing with me about it. And I was like, okay, all right, cool. He just, oh my God, I hate this man. But and that's when I made that Twitter post. I was like, look, I don't know everything. I do not know ships and stuff, but I know like the basics because I need to because I have a podcast. But that was fun. Fun times. Anyway, yeah,
But
Grogu.
that's really the end of the first episode.
Mhm.
They go to Bo's depression castle and
Yeah, the
talk to her, and
depression,
then
disappointed castle,
I know.
which it's like completely empty.
Oh, I also want to shout out. She has like a cool little like butler droid that like goes to greet them, um,
Hmm.
and stuff. And I really like the detail that the droid has the like Mandalorian like key in its chest. So it's like on all their armor. I thought that was a
Hmm.
cool little detail. That I
Yeah.
liked. Yeah, it's the first episode. The next one was the Mines of Mandalore. So again, this is like Din, learn how to plan your freaking road trip. He goes almost to Mandalore, to this other planet, and then backtracks and goes to Tatooine, and then it goes back to
Yeah.
Mandalore.
I
Um,
don't even know.
Din, come on, like be efficient. You know, you could have
Even
like
I'm pretty good at that stuff. Like
I
I
mean,
literally be doing it in
unless
like
he had
Breath
to
of the
pass
Wild.
man, I don't know. I don't know how the galaxy works. Because also like even when people have like their galaxy maps, I'm like, right, but aren't like they spinning? So like is it staying
Like,
in
do
the
they not,
same
does he
thing?
not worry about like gas or something?
He
I don't
must
know.
not. Um so I don't know. I mean maybe he has to pass Mandalore to go to Tatooine. So he's like, I'll stop at those on the way. But I don't know. I don't know how to I don't know how that all triangulates. Um
Yeah.
but he pulls into Pelly's and we open on Pelly like low key scamming some guy
Yeah,
into
as she
getting
should.
his pod racer for Boonta Eve, which is just funny. We see a bunch of Jawas there wearing like Mardi Gras beads,
Hmm.
which I love. Um, and Pelly and Grogu meet up again, and they're um uh Din is like, "Hey, I need this part," and Pelly's like, "Hey, Jawas, you can find this part," and Jawa's like, "No." And Din's like,
She speaks like Jawa,
"Yes, she does. I love it." And
which like
Din's
makes
like,
sense. She had like a Jawa boyfriend.
"Yeah." Be a little harder she didn't. But yeah, so they're like, all right, can't find the part. Here, take R5. Like, okay. And he does. Like, it takes some convincing.
Yeah.
He
He's
does.
like, I guess.
It's just weird. Like, I was like, wow, like set up, like, maybe bring IG-11 back. And it's like, oh, never mind, take R5. Like, okay. I mean, and it makes sense because, like, where was he going to put IG-11 in the ship?
Hmm.
But yeah, so he
Yeah.
takes R5. So R5 gets the little astromech thing, and instead of his bubble, Grogu sits on Din's lap.
Hmm.
So yeah, he gets R5, and they fly away, and they fly away, and they're the Booth Eve fireworks going, and Grogu watches, and it's very cute.
Hmm. Very
Um,
nice.
so go to Mandalore, and oh, and R5 is like anxiety droid.
I love it. I mean, I I don't blame him. There's a lot going on in the world.
No, of course.
Uh,
I also really recommend um his story in the From a Certain Point of View book of A New Hope. There's a
yeah,
nice
he's
little
gone through
story
it.
about R5. I recommend. Very cute.
He's gone through
Um
things, seen things, seeing more
and
things.
yes. But so they go out to Mandalore and he sends R5 to go out and like scan to like make sure it's not poisoned and it's not. They also get attacked by like weird aliens. I don't
Hmm.
know what they were. They
I
attacked and
They just
Din,
kind of look like apes.
yeah, they were weird. And Din fights them. He still sucks with the dark saber.
He's still not really good at
It's
it.
yeah, well, and I mean, and it's like, I like when Kanan was training Sabine with it, he talked about how it like responds to your emotions and like if you're ready for it, if you're a leader, and it's too heavy for Din. It's
Hmm.
he's not emotionally in a state where he really wants it or is able to wield it.
Yeah.
Because again, another part I'm interested in seeing, like, is he going, this going like, oh, he's going to become, like, it's going to be the very classic arc of like, he's going to become that leader and he's going to be able to wield it, or is it going to be him realizing it's just not who he is? Like, again, that ties back to what I was saying about him finding his sense of identity. Um, I'm just very curious to see like which direction. Because there's so many directions they could take so many things. I'm
Hmm.
curious to see which way they go.
I mean, even later, like when we see Bo like pick it up so easily and like wield it so easily, like that
Yeah,
just makes sense. It she can use it. Like
yeah. No,
it's
she
you
like
know that's all I
no,
like to
like
say. She
didn't
just can
like
use it.
didn't literally like when I say he sucks with it, like he sucks. Like he
Yeah, like it's
cannot.
not to be
He
mean.
can
He just
hardly lift
sucks.
it. He can hardly lift it. He didn't cut himself this time though.
No,
There's some
so
improvement. Um, but Yeah, no, and then Bo again, like Bo is as much as she's like I think at least trying to put on the persona of pushing that away. She doesn't care about it anymore. She's done with it. If if her people abandon her, she's abandoning them. Um, it's also like inside of her, at her core, at least in my opinion, she is a leader and she
Mhm.
cares. As
Yeah.
much as she pretends not to, as much as she's upset and frustrated right now. And again, that's where like I'm curious to see where her arc goes. And that's what I mentioned, like, could Din be passing the saber off to her? Like, does it belong with her more? Uh, but yeah, Din sucks with the dark saber, but
Spoiler alert, he sucks.
he's
Still.
terrible. Sorry, Din. I love you. Din, honestly, also I appreciate like how they have a good balance of like, oh, he's the Mandalorian. He's super cool. He's super badass. He takes out the bad guys. And then also like being like he's also a little bit pathetic
Yeah,
sometimes.
like
Like he does get
to
tossed around
be
and he
fair,
does get
like
beat up. It's a
it
nice
is
balance.
I do think that there is something there. Like at first I was like, nah, it's probably just like a mindset, you know. But also I think there is something there where it does kind of choose who it wants.
Yeah.
So I like half blame him and then half
Yeah, no,
don't.
it's not. I think it's also it's not as much like are you good enough as much as it's like does this belong with you?
Mm-hmm.
Like are you the type of person fit to wield this? Not even a like are you a good person? Are you like, chosen by
Yeah,
the
because
whatever? Just like
Pre-Vizsla
are
had
you
it.
yeah, well previously had it and like, but it's like do you have these like leadership qualities? Like is
Yeah.
your um
Even Maul had it. Like, it's
right.
leadership, leadership.
Right. It's like, do you have leadership qualities? Like, is your heart not in the right place? Because obviously Maul and Previously had it, but is your heart in the place
Wielding
of a
it.
leader of,
Yeah.
wanting to be something for the Mandalorian people, even if it's a dictator like Maul?
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and I just Din is not there. Will he get there, or will he, you know, realize like it's not for me? Like that's not who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Which
curious.
like I feel
Yeah.
like he kind of realized that. Like when he was like, "No, I don't want this. Here, you can have it." And she just wouldn't take it.
Yeah.
But I wonder if he's gonna like double be like, "No, no, no. You you really need this." Like I know that like I wonder if he's gonna
Please.
realize the true significance of this blade and be like,
hmm
"Who cares? Just take it. Like you
Yeah.
literally deserve it."
Or if they're gonna like, he's like, fine, like you want to earn it in battle,
Yeah.
let's go.
That would be kind of cool. Yeah, like
um, I will
God.
say I love Din Djarin. I think Bo kind of clears him personally.
Kind of what?
Clears him. Like,
Mhm. Like,
sorry, Din, but
wait, what does that mean?
like destroys Solu.
Oh, okay, okay. She of all the people that can diff her, she can diff him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, yeah,
Um. Yeah. But yeah, so Bo Din sucks with the dark saber, and then he brings Grogu and they go around in the it's cool to see the ruins of Sundari because there's definitely like moments where there's cut to a shot and I'm like oh wow like that's where the siege of Mandalore was like I saw that and it's like very haunting, not that we even saw it, like we saw Sundari, we didn't really see the inside of it much in Rebels, we saw a lot of it in Clone Wars, both during, under Satine's rule, during the rule of Maul, and then obviously in the Siege of Mandalore.
hmm
It's gone. It's haunting.
yeah.
But very cool. It feels a lot like the Death Star wreckage in the Rise of Skywalker. Except obviously Death Star is like, yeah, screw the Death Star. Where this is like,
I'm glad that he was
oh,
able to breathe. Like it wasn't
yeah,
too far
yeah. He's
gone.
like, wow, it's not cursed. Bo was right. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
He's like he's so close to being like, yeah, Bo is right. So that means the armorer was. You almost got it. You
Come
almost
on.
got it. You almost got it. And he doesn't quite get there.
No.
That's okay. Yeah, so basically he's looking for the water of the mines. And he's walking around and then I don't know what that was. It was super cool. I don't know what it
The
was.
thing,
The cyborg.
I
It was
hated
like,
it.
oh, it was terrible, but I loved
Yeah, it I
it.
don't even think we're gonna get an explanation for it,
No,
and
I hope
I'm
we
not.
don't.
Yeah,
I
I'm
hope
not
it's just one
entirely
of those.
mad at it, but it's like horrifying. Like what it was like. First of all, it like came out from the sand like a spider trap, and like like scurried and
Like
put Din in a cage,
clamped
and
it like
then
clamped
drugged
him
him.
around him.
It
Yeah, and it was
literally stuck a needle in there, and
yeah,
like
it was like a cyborg. I don't know if it was like a scientist. It definitely gave like Grievous
yeah,
slash Grievous's doctor vibes.
mhm.
Um, it was
It
like
was. I don't even know if
yeah.
it was like I couldn't tell if maybe like the where the eyeball was there was something living, like, or if it was just all robot. But yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
was.
was I think it was definitely something living. I don't know what.
I don't know what
Uh
part.
like but yeah, I don't know. I hope we don't get an explanation because it's like where did it like what is it? Number one. Number two, was it like always on Mandalore or like did it come after? I assume it came after, but like why? And like, and I have all these questions I don't want answers. Like just
I
leave
want
it.
like a little bit of answers, but like not like give me a whole backstory on
Yeah,
this.
I wouldn't be mad if we got a few answers, but I'm also like I kind of feel like cool with this. It's just one of those weird Star
It's
Wars
just
things where it's like, yeah, that exists.
horrifying.
Cool.
It's
Yeah.
just scary. It was horrible. I didn't like it. I what it just and then it was like sucking his blood out.
Yeah,
Like
it's like
what?
it's like clamped on like it was almost like set up like a trap.
Mhm.
And it, like clamps around in and like carries him over to this weird like cage and like yeah, like tries to like that's again when I'm like maybe it's like doing experiments or something like what I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
I
and
love
it
it.
seems like maybe because there was a lot of Mandalorian like things
There's
around,
like
so
a
I
yeah.
wonder if like he is grabbing Mandalorians that come to like see if Mandalore is
Mhm.
okay. Like that's also
Yeah.
horrifying.
Who knows,
Um,
man?
yeah, I don't. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah.
that was
But
scary.
so Grogu, bless him, tries to like go free him with the Force, and
Yeah.
Mando's like, "Go get Bo-Katan."
Mhm.
And so Grogu like I love seeing the edits with like the Tokyo Drift music of him like zooming through the ruins.
I thought it reminded me so much of like Minecraft creative mode when he ascends.
Yes.
Like it was so funny. I I also like the weird like alligator slash like flying alligator tiny baby alligator things that were after him. Because like I don't they just look really cute. Um but those came after him and then an ape came after him and he shoved it, which I was very proud. Um, yeah, that was, and then he went he knew the map, so he was able to like go and actually go to see Bo-Katan and like successfully.
Yes. So it's so cute. He hops in the ship and he points at it, and R5 takes him to Bo-Katan. And
Yeah,
she is has a new but equally dramatic pose sitting on her throne of depression.
yeah, she has a lot of
Um
them.
um and she's like, I told him not to come back. I don't want visitors. I'm gonna get rid of him once and for all. And she goes out and she sees it's just the baby. And she's
Yeah,
like, all right, let's go rescue your dad.
she no
uh
question. She's like, all right, where is he?
um this guy.
Hmm.
Um, the Bo and Grogu go down into the mine, and she kicks ass.
Yes,
Um,
I like
completely
her.
again, like we said, total like. absolutely destroys with the dark saber.
Yeah. I like her calling Mando his dad.
Yes.
I thought it was very cute.
No
Because like we
questions at
kind
all
of
about
all
it. She's like, okay, you're
yeah.
dead.
Yeah, like we're kind of like not that I didn't figure that they would acknowledge it, but it's just a father-son thing.
Mhm.
it's so cute, and Mando's like adopted him, and is already like, yeah, you're Mandalorian. This is our people's planet. It's destroyed, but we're both gonna go visit it together. I've never
Mhm.
been either. Like it's so cute. I don't know. Yeah, I like the little detail of that. But then yeah, she's totally amazing with the saber.
Yes. And she also like uses her little like bubble shield thing, which
Mhm.
I've loved since they first showed those, and I think Rebels was the first time we saw them. Maybe it was
I
in
like
Clone
that
Wars.
she did the Sabine thing where she grabs it with her grappling hook, the
Yes.
saber.
I
That was
just like
cute.
fighting with the sword and shield. Like
Hmm.
very knight. I love
Yeah.
it. Um, but she saves Din and they stop and they have some soup and she's like, "You never had
Pog
this soup?
soup.
It's a Mandalorian special." And I'm just gonna say it. There's no way he got that soup all in his mouth. He totally had some soup on his chin.
Yeah.
There, I watched it. I was like, "You did not get that in your mouth, man. That is all over your face, and you know it. You are dripping soup under that helmet. I see you.
Yeah. My thing is like he might as well take it off. Like he's gonna
Get
get
a
like
straw, bro."
bathed anyway. Like he might as
No,
well just enjoy
actually,
it.
that's a really good point. Might as well take it off. 'Cause you're about to take a bath anyway. He
Yeah.
and he and Grogu share some soup.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Pog soup.
and then they rest and go into the mines. Bo talks about how she did this ritual when she was like the princess of Mandalore. And like we kind of see her like resentment for all these traditions and stuff. Um, and they get to the mines, and Din starts like taking off his like jetpack and his cape and stuff, and I was like,
I thought he was
how?
not gonna get naked, but I was also I was curious. I was like, what? How much are you taking off right
That
now?
was exactly my thought. I was like, how? I was like, he's not gonna like get naked. Like that's not. This is Disney Plus. But I was
Yeah.
like, how far is this gonna go? But it was literally just like, can't get my raggedy, moth-eaten old cape wet. God
Hmm.
forbid. And it was just like his weapons, his cape, and his jetpack. I think was all it was.
Yeah.
I also want to point out when Din woke up after she rescued him, his she like sat the dark saber with all this stuff, which is just like she doesn't really, or at least she's trying to not care about it anymore. She does not want it. It's
Yeah.
interesting. But yeah, so he goes down the steps all slow and dramatic. Um, and then at first I thought he got pulled under. I was like, of course, monster in the water. It's a Mandalorian. I think he just like fell.
I also think he just fell.
No, he did. I know you haven't
Okay.
seen episode 3, but they like basically confirmed it. He falls. He just fell.
Okay. Okay. I
He,
was like, what? Like,
yeah, but no, Bo
I
like
figured
mentions
he.
they
I don't
mentioned
know.
like, oh, like the stairs must have cracked or gotten deeper or something since the from all the disruption of the bombs. No, he literally just like fell, which is
Okay.
so funny.
Yeah. Which I think is hilarious because I was like, no, he totally just fell. And then but then I was like, but also he fell so far.
I mean, you
Like,
figure like Beskar like is like a solid, this like the most solid, dense,
yeah.
strong metal. Like it's gotta be heavy.
Yeah.
Like he sinks like a rock. He's like just wearing all this metal. Yeah, he just falls. And it was hilarious. Um Again, like this mix of Din. Like I really like it for him as a protagonist. I think it makes him a lot more likable where it's like, yeah, he's super cool and badass. Like he also gets tossed around a lot. It's really funny. Um
I think it's also the same thing with him being a dad, like in teaching. Like he's not like a jerk dad. Like he's not,
he's trying his best.
he's not well, it's more so like he's not this cool guy that like is like, no, you got to be strong and like, be able to fight good. Like he's like, hey, look, this is how you do a map. Hey, this is our culture. Like I think that's super nice and super cute. Um, but yeah, he falls, and then Bo goes to save him, and I was like, there's no way that there's not a single monster, even if he did not get dragged by a monster. Like there has to be something, unfortunately. Um, and they just like see this giant freaking humongous like mythosaur.
It was so cool because
It
like
was.
Mythosaur are supposedly like extinct and like
Mhm,
and and like Bo was literally just like almost laughing at like ha they used to think this place had a Mythosaur lair
mhm.
and then there it is. Um
Yeah. I just
so
like, I don't like sea creatures. I especially didn't think that the mythosaur was a sea creature.
I
I
did
don't think it's
not
a sea creature, but I think like it can reside in the water. Uh, but it was like three times like only its face was like three times bigger than
yeah,
Bo-Katan.
I
Like
would say even more than that. It was like
yeah,
she wasn't I didn't feel like she was terribly much bigger than its eye. It's
I wish
huge.
that towards the end, because like at the end of the episode with the credits, they like have like like the art that they put up. I kind of
Hmm.
wish there wasn't. I was hoping that there was an art for that so I could see just how big it was. But yeah, that was horrifying. And I'm so glad that it didn't seem like it was aggressive. It just kind of like was like, ah, my eyeball, the light, and then like ran away.
Yeah.
But
So I'm curious to see like is seeing the Mythosaur is that going to be more of a like thing for Bo and like her maybe warming up to the traditions, or is it going to be more of like are they gonna is it gonna be like Boba Fett in the Rancor? Like are they gonna come back and ride the freaking Mythosaur? Which would be super cool. I know it's probably not gonna happen, but
yeah,
American
I
dream.
mean, I definitely think it's like I hope it's like a symbol of like hope for like Bo-Katan because it's one, it's a mythosaur, like the things that they like worship, that they love and stuff, and it's been extinct for so long, so they thought that it survived here. It survived in Mandalore, even in its destruction. So like that's something that's super cool and like would be really useful for maybe bringing together all of the Mandalorians. Um, so yeah, I love it. I need to watch episode 3, but yeah, uh, that was horrifying and very cool. Yeah.
Yes. Well, those are the first episodes of The Mandalorian. Very interesting. I'm excited to see. We still have well, six more from we talked about today episodes left. We have some Bad Batch to catch up on and talk about.
Yes.
Which hopefully we'll maybe record this weekend. So we can be ready for the finale. Woohoo!
Yes, we do
This
need to
week.
do that. Uh yeah.
um, but yeah, some very good episodes. Uh, Super exciting stuff. More Bo-Katan. More. I'm sure they have plenty more surprises for us in the rest of the S season. Um, yes, much excitement in the world of Star Wars at the moment.
Hmm.
Um, Other
What do
Star
you
Wars news, they announced from a certain point of view Return of the Jedi, which I'm so
hmm.
excited for. I've been waiting for it for years.
Hmm.
I cannot wait to get some absolutely heartbreaking Ewok stories and some stories from Jabba's palace and undoubtedly many more. I'm very excited to see what they pull out because I love both of the other books, other from a certain point of view books, and I'm super excited for Return of the Jedi. So,
Yeah.
if we don't get an Ula story, I will smash things.
Hmm. That's fair.
just just so
Justice
you
for
know.
Ula.
I'm just gonna look for other news really quick. Oh, Lizzie, there's a Pog soup recipe
Oh, there is.
on
I was just gonna
StarWars.com.
I was just gonna ask you what you think pog soup consists of.
I can
Okay, what
tell
did
you.
wait,
So we got
before.
yellow bell pepper. Okay,
Oh,
before.
okay. What did you think
Sorry,
it was?
I thought it was like meat. There's something called a pog, and she killed it.
Hmm,
Can I eat this? I don't
probably.
even have to change it. Okay, got yellow bell pepper, red bell pepper, olive oil, sweet onion, carrot, shallot, garlic, ginger, curry powder, turmeric, coriander, salt, vegetable broth, and coconut milk.
Oh, it's just a curry.
Unsweetened coconut milk,
Yeah, it's a
bro.
curry. I make that all the
I'm
time.
gonna make me some pog soup. It's like
That's
it
like my
looks like
favorite thing.
you blend it.
Do you
Yeah,
blend
you
it?
blend it into a
Oh.
puree, so it's completely smooth.
Hmm.
I made some
That's
pog soup
fair.
this
How is
weekend.
she blending that? How
Maybe
did she
she just
blend it
has,
there?
I wonder if they just have like cans, little like things of pog soup to warm up. Like I don't think she made it and blended it right there. I'm sure she
No,
had
she had like a whole culinary, like she brought a fridge with her and
a
everything.
fridge. Yeah,
Yeah.
brought all the vegetables, made
Hmm.
it fresh.
Yeah.
Um,
That's cool.
I'm gonna make some pog soup. Oh my gosh, I
I
could
will
like bring
not
that to work.
blend it. I do
Have to
not like the
microwave it
texture
though.
of blended soup sometimes, but that's okay.
Well, but then it's not authentic pog soup. You gotta have the authentic pog soup, or Bo-Katan will judge you.
But it's just a curry. Curry don't get blended.
Not
I
not
will try
only
it blended.
unless it's pog soup.
Yeah, you're right. I will try it blended.
Yeah. Um, some
Yummy,
other
yummy.
news. They um ID card, not ID cards. The ticket lanyard things. The art was released for Celebration. They're beautiful. They're so
Mm-hmm.
pretty. I don't know which one I'm gonna get. I want Chopper, but I usually Chopper is like the kids one. Uh,
You can
I don't know.
pass.
Yes, probably. But they're all super cute. We got Bo-Katan, Ahsoka, Vader, but specifically Vader from Kenobi with like half the helmet chopped off. Fennec Shand, Grief Karga, but season two Grief Karga, not season three Drip Grief
Yeah.
Karga.
Hmm.
Reva, Rey, but Force Awakens Rey. Interesting. Luke, Return of the Jedi Luke. Mando holding Grogu, Grogu by himself. Han, old Yoda. Leia, Obi-Wan from Obi-Wan Kenobi. Cassian from Andor, his like brown jacket. Finn
Hmm.
from The Force Awakens. Uh, 3PO and R2 when one together. Chopper and Omega. Her
Omega.
bow.
I
My bow.
justice for Boba Fett. Like,
No,
why
for
not?
real. He didn't get. Oh, we got a Fennec one.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is like, why is Fennec there? Like,
Because Fennec
obviously, yes,
is
Fennec,
boss.
but like also
Yeah, I'm
Boba.
curious for the inclusion of like obviously Omega because Bad Batch is coming out. Reva because Obi-Wan came out last year. Bo and Mando because Mando's coming out. Ahsoka because Ahsoka's coming out this year. And like the Obi-Wan stuff, like the Obi-Wan they have is from like this show. But I'm curious about the inclusion of like over having like Rey, like Luke, Han, Yoda, Leia, Finn. Not that I don't love those characters, but like 3PO and R2 over. Like at least one of them could be Boba. Or like
Hmm.
why does Grogu get to be on Mando's and also on his own?
Yeah,
But also he's baby, so it's okay.
I noticed that and I was like, wait, Fennec's here. Where's her
Well,
boss?
at least there's some representation of the show.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I'm very excited for my badge, see which one I get. I think that's really all the news. The 2023 celebration, the art show prints are released, and I was like, oh, I gotta get this one. Ahsoka one. It's so pretty. And then it was $70. Oh,
Ooh.
maybe I'll see if I want it too bad at the show, but
Yeah.
I'll wait. I won't pre-order yet. Um, but yeah, lots of good stuff. Very excited. Celebration in a couple weeks. Star Wars Geek Girl will be on the podcast stage Saturday at 1 p.m. if you're at Celebration in London, 8 p.m. on the East Coast, which would be 5 p.m. on the West Coast. And then if you're in the middle, 6 or 7, depending on which part of the middle of the country you're in. And other places. It's in London time, Saturday at 1 p.m.
Yes.
Can you hear Freddie?
No.
Good. He's being a little crybaby right now.
Crybaby.
No one is loving him with tons of attention right now. We're busy. Oh, Freddie. Poor Freddie. I'll snuggle him
How
later.
will he live?
He was so spoiled. It was my fault. All right. I also wanted to shout out happy birthday to on the day we're recording this, when everyone listens to it, it won't be his birthday anymore. But happy birthday to Kerwin from Father Son Galaxy. He and his family, his whole family are, in my opinion, a beacon of light in the Star Wars community, in the Star Wars podcast community. Everyone should listen to their show. They are
Happy
absolute
birthday.
joys.
March babies.
March babies, yeah, you're coming up on yours. You're 21st. Oh, exciting.
Yeah. uh, yeah. I don't want to say I'm getting old because I know I'm going to offend a lot of people, specifically my parents.
We're not old.
We're not old, but it's weird to be an adult.
Old is a mindset.
Yeah, you're right. It's just strange. This age.
All right, Star Wars Geeker stuff. StarWarsGeeker.com is the website. I'm gonna do more stuff on it. It's been a time. I don't have an excuse. I really don't. I've not been that busy. I don't know. I don't know what to write. And I'm like, I don't know what to write. Sorry. I don't know what to write.
Well, you gotta make a Pog soup now, and then you can write about that.
I gotta get hit with like writer's inspiration, because once I start again, I'll be able to keep up with it. It's just like starting again. But I want to get back to it. I think celebration at least, if not before, will hit me, hopefully. Also Twitter and Instagram at SWGeekGirl, where I post the podcast links when we record them. I try to anyway. And the Facebook page, which is just Star Wars Geek Girl.
For the Rogue Rebels, there's theroguerebels.com, Instagram and TikTok at the Rogue Rebels, Twitch at Rogue Rebels, podcast wherever you're listening to Star Wars Geek Girl, Facebook page, the Rogue Rebels, Twitter at Rogue Rebels Fam, where my dad is reposting Star Wars Geek Girl episodes
and other podcasts. Yes. All right, thank you so much for listening. We will try and catch up on our episodes that we've missed and things. I was sick. It's my fault. We've both been busy, and then I got sick this past weekend when we were supposed to record, and I just was just laying around and blah, just making TikTok edits and playing Overwatch because I didn't feel like doing anything else.
I do see those.
I do. I have 30 in my drafts. I'm not even kidding.
Jeez.
Yeah, 26 in my draft. Sorry, I made a chopper one today. I'm really excited to post. It's just stupid. It's just silly, really goofy, but I like it. I'm very excited. I also have Rey and Captain Marvel ones. So I'm not looking forward to the comments I get on this. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Because TikTok commenters are always so kind to me.
They're so weird. I got I commented something, not even anything bad, and then I just got hit with a bunch of 13-year-olds that were like, don't talk again, delete your comment. I was
the 13-year-olds are so funny though.
Okay, but it's even funnier because I was like, who are these people? Because it was a good 3 or 4 people that said something similar to that. And so I go and check their pages, and it's private Roblox.
Yeah. No, they're always private, no profile picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my favorite
Roblox,
comments
what's
Yeah.
it called? Like My Hero Academia. It's
Hmm.
so funny.
My favorite comments are the one when I got bullied for being short on
Yeah.
TikTok. That was
I
really
saw
funny.
that. Oh,
And my favorite, this was a recent one, but someone commented, "That's not even editing. It's just a bunch of clips side by side." Like,
hmm.
yeah, clips I edited
Yeah.
together. Interesting. Sorry I didn't use enough PowerPoint transitions for you,
Yeah.
my friend. Yeah, TikTok comments are so funny.
I thought I saw this TikTok video and it was like, kids nowadays have it so good with these edits because, in 2010 the edits were fucking not garbage, but they were just like slideshow with like nightcore music to it. So like yeah, I thought that was kind of funny, but yeah. I think it's funny that Pedro Pascal has seen the edits of himself and then has even admitted to like looking them up to
Hmm.
cheer himself up. I think
No,
that's
honestly, I
amazing.
feel like that's gotta be. There's definitely a lot of drawbacks to being a celebrity, but I feel like the idea of like, I'm not really feeling good about myself. Let me look up all these like really awesome like edits that like bunch of like high schoolers made of me being hot.
Yeah.
Like that's like definitely an upside. Like
Hmm.
there's a lot of drawbacks, but like that's definitely an upside of like I'm not feeling good about myself. Let me like read all these people telling me how beautiful I am. Like that must
Yeah.
be nice.
Yeah. I think it yeah, like you said, it's probably nice for like a little bit and then it gets to the point where it's like, all right, all right, all right.
There's a balance to be struck
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah,
Yeah.
funny. I always like my favorite is when I see like edits of Black Widow, and then the opening clip is that clip of Scarlett Johansson saying, "I've seen the edits."
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh, TikTok.
TikTok's so funky. All right.
What a
And
place.
people are just funky too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. We did the plugs.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to see my TikTok edits, I'm at Spectre5 on TikTok.
Yes.
They're fine.
I like
I
them.
like they're fun. I like to make them. That's all that counts.
Yeah. Um mine my TikTok um it's fine. It's like I think it's funny because I want like it feels like when you do something on TikTok and it get like there's only one specific like genre. Like if you do a certain topic and it gets a lot of likes, if you do something different from that, then you get nothing. At
Hmm.
least from like what I've seen online and like just what people have said online, I guess.
And
But
I always
and I
sorry, continue.
no, I just noticed because I put like a Star Wars like funny video like a long time ago, and like it got so many likes, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. All right, oh, I want to do something not Star Wars, and then it was like, no, no one has seen this, no views, no likes.
No,
Um,
it's so funny because like Safi has a lot of followers on TikTok.
she
Safi is like,
does.
and from her like reptile, like she does her all her reptile stuff for the most part. And so I made a little video of myself and was like describing myself as Star Wars characters. And I was like, oh, like Safi, I'll make one for you. Like she's like, oh yeah, I want one. Like you have to post it because if I post it, everyone will just comment being mean to me and tell me to post the reptiles. It's like, oh,
Oh,
okay. But
yeah,
yeah, Safia's, I just looked up, Safia's 46,000 followers on TikTok.
yeah.
Still not as much as my dad. It's like 150,000.
Getting that
But
bank, that creator fund, I think.
yeah, it's not very much.
It's not, but like,
It's not
yay,
at
a
all.
penny.
Yay, 10 cents.
Yay.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
I've noticed
yeah.
that not always, but like my low effort videos, like I spent like a couple, like maybe at least an hour. I know I spent a couple hours on this one Kira video I posted, less
Mhm.
than 1,000 views. Only I got a couple comments and they were not nice. Or like I spent a while on like edits like a couple hundred views, which is still good. And then I threw together a recording of my Tracer cosmetics on Overwatch, just like literally recording my TV, almost
Yeah.
2,000 views.
Yeah. It's so weird. Yeah, what was it? Anytime, like again, if I post something Star Wars, it's like, yes, good. And I'm like, all right, sure. I just want to do something like I especially, I want to get a camera so that way I can record me cooking because I don't know. I don't cook like fancy foods, but I think I cook pretty good foods, you know? So I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. But then I'm like, well, one, I have to like get an actual not a camera, but I have to get like a stand. And then two, I have to like, I don't think TikTok's gonna let me. It's just gonna be there and it's gonna have like 2 likes. And I'm like, awesome. That's like Zoe and my family's account. I don't know. It's funny. TikTok is funny. I'm trying to do this TikTok right now, but my dad not refuses, but he hasn't been able to do it for me. And it's there's a trend going around that's like show your pet and like what they're named after.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to do Echo. And obviously I was gonna post it on their social medias. And I've been asking my dad, I'm like, please just give me a 8-second video of Echo. Like I can use photos, but I think a funny 8-second video of Echo would be better. And I haven't gotten it yet, but I do have like the draft of it, and there's a very specific photo of Echo of like Clone Wars Echo that looks exactly like Echo the dog, and I don't know how, but it's really cute. I'll have to send it to you and maybe I'll post it on Twitter, but I think it's so cute because it's like a little like it's Echo like being looking very cute and he's like his head is tilted a little bit and it looks like he's smiling. And there's also a very specific photo of Echo the clone doing the exact same thing. And I think it's hilarious. But yeah, so that's something that it is in the working. So dad, please give me the 8-second video. I need it. I need to complete it. Yeah. Um yeah,
Right.
that was fun.
Yeah. Well, this is a
Podcast.
very long podcast. From my TikTok. So yeah,
Yeah.
again, we'll try it one more time. Thank you everyone for listening. I was Zoe.
I was Lizzy.
May the force be with you, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Star Wars Geek Girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes cry.